first pick here coming from RRQ here. What's going to be the first pick here? What are they going to be banning here? Let's take a look here. Is going to be a ban Kaja here? Nope.
Yeah.
Once again, they're going to be banned off the Masha. They just don't. I feel like RRQ just values Masha so high. And because of that reason here, maybe, not many teams actually realize that how strong it is. But VFM, they're going to be starting us off with the Harif pick up. But at the same time, RQ, they have the choice to actually go for Esmeralda pick as well.
Yeah, this is a good and a bad, right? I was expecting maybe a Kaja steal, maybe a Hylos for VEC, but they saw RQ take out Harif in the third phase, and you know that VFM, they prioritize this Harif a lot. If not, they will kind of let it slide and hope that it goes to the third phase, which has not happened yet. So they were going to prioritize that. But at the same time, they are sacrificing two really strong picks for RQ. That is your front line completed for the Indonesian team.
Definitely here. But at the same time here, VEC, what are they going to do here? Because as of now here, pretty much their support, they have to play around the Kylos as well as Kaja, especially on the front line. Do they actually, take RRQ's advice to just pick the basket as well? Considering that, early on we did, Tutu already mentioned as well that, hey, come on, Baxia is like a natural counter for the Hylos. Or are they going to force like the Harif to actually go into the necklace of Durance here coming from VEC?
Yeah, I think if you're looking at VFM right now, the Baxia kind of looks tasty as a pick, but you are looking for the damage output. Right? You have Badang, you have Harif. Where is that physical element? And if you kind of pick Baxia in, you're boxing your last pick to be probably a marksman. You're looking at a carry to kind of bust through the tanks on the side of RRQ, and like you mentioned, the Esmeralda instantly picked up, no question at all. There was no hesitation with that particular choice.
I like how VEC still has that flexibility pick here, where you say like, hey, I pick a Badang here. Do we still go for a tank? Is it going to be a support Badang, or is it going to be an off-lane Badang? Which is what some of the teams may think here. But RQ, I feel like they're not actually worried about a Badang pick here. Seeing how the previous game of Reavers SG, we saw how they played around the Badang as well. The Baxia was just out of control. Now the Esmeralda being picked up as well. Harif is not going to have a great time, and I feel like maybe VFM is VEC here is gonna struggle a little bit to try to deal with this Esmeralda later on. Without Hylos, Arkai is a great counter, but Badang is also okay just for the burst output here. We've seen, I think, previously in the Malaysian scene, where GigFam just played the Badang support, just did so well against Esmeralda. But that's the thing, that's the flex pick there. Is it gonna be a support Badang, or is it gonna be off lane here? But seems to be RRQ, they're going for the Hellcat pick, and I believe they actually won themselves a lot of win rate, pretty high win rate, with the Hellcat pick.
Yeah, it's not just a Hellcat pick. They also took out Baxia. Like, during the interview that you conducted just now, he said Baxia direct counter to Hylos. Hylos, and VFM, if you don't take Baxia, guess what? We will eliminate Baxia. We secure ourselves Hellcat. Suddenly, the marksmen don't sound as juicy as they were anymore. And if you're VFM right now, if this Valle gets locked in, that is a lot of magical damage. You are pitting on that early to mid phase. The Claude will be the safest pick. But again, that Hellcat might be the death trap that RRQ has set up, and VFM, they can lock those two in.
Wow, Valir pickup here. So they're going to be going for a double mage setup here with one of the Cloud. Okay, wait, this is going to be a support Valir. This is going to be a support Valir here, followed by, I think, a off-lane Badang.
Yeah, and
should be.
I like the Granger pick for RQ as well. I was thinking maybe for VFM, you need someone, some marksman who has a mobility, either the Cloud, either the carry, but they feel more comfortable with the Cloud simply because it's slightly safer, unlike the carry, which you kind of need time to come online, and other than that, it's easier to kind of get picked off. So VFM going the safer route, and that means RQ, they can be very bold. They already had the Hellcat, they already went for the Esmeralda, they're going to finish it off with the Granger. That is a robust lineup coming into this first game. Oh yeah, speaking of which here, based on the draft as well, I like how they have a lot of flexibility here, but in honesty, I feel like I like RRQ's draft a little bit more just because it's easier to play compared to what VFM has in store. But at the same time, Valer is kind of the support, the hero where you can actually have a flex pick here. Most of the times you see it a lot on mage here. It got a little bit nerfed, but at the same time, bring it as a support here, it's something you do not expect a lot because he just harasses you from really, really safe distance as well. The stun really sets up for a lot of things as well coming from VFM. So I'm a little bit curious to see
how well they're going to be playing the early phase of the game.
Yeah, especially when you have to kind of buy time for the clock, right? And this is where Badang kind of comes into place. Either the Badang or the Valia. The Archive is going to be moving around simply because you have that Haukat. You need to keep that Haukat away from your team. And if RQ gets a few pickouts on that cloud, you are not going to expect this marksman to do anything effective. And
that's the thing. When you brought up that point as well, I like how you mentioned as well that, hey, they were trying to buy time for the cloud, right? I feel like the cloud is going to have a really tough time just because they have the Hellcat to worry about. If you think about it here, Hellcat, is kind of have like one of the fastest assassin in the game as well, where he has so much mobility, kind of similar to how RQ played the Marsha pick early on, right? Like, it was super hard to catch. And it feels like, yes, you have the Archive, it's great. But if you focus on the Hellcat there's also other heroes that you got to worry about here. The sustainability is coming from Hylos as well, which is kind of going to be one of the key factor. But that's just in theory crafting here. But let's take a look at how they're going to be playing here, because I might be proven wrong coming from Vietnamese teams here. But ladies and gentlemen, here, this is game number 1 here in the second series for today's matchup in Group A's group stages here. VEC Fantasy Main on the blue side, and of course RRQ will be on the red side here.
Yeah, and VFM, they have a big task to do. They need to upset RRQ to make sure that RRQ doesn't just simply lock in that playoff spot and of course gain themselves some point. But of course RRQ, with that strong start, they have warmed up. This is VFM's first game, and from the draft, from the get-go, it felt like RRQ slightly outdrafted them.
Not necessarily here. It's all about execution here. But in this case, let's take a look how they're going to be playing. There's a win. They're going to be taking a little bit damage here. However, they're pretty much half HP here from side RRQ. So going to be contesting the gold buff for themselves here. But seeing how they wooden mask here, we see double wooden mask coming from RRQ. Same goes for VEC Fantasy Main. So nothing too much out of ordinary. But well, they're going to be respecting each other's territory. Nothing too much of an aggressive plays coming in from both these teams.
Yeah, and immediately VFM decides, let's put Harry bot, let's set the cloud mid. This guy needs the resources, we need to make space for him, and the best way is to give him that solo lane. Give him that extra experience, give him that buff, whatever that we can to funnel to get this cloud online as soon as possible, because VFM, they are playing against the ticking time bomb, and RQ, just waiting for this Haukat to hit level 4, and then he'll start striking.
Our bottom side here, we see a little bit of contestments here. We're going to be cutting a creep wave here, and I'm pretty sure that VEFM here, they want to control the tempo and just try and go a couple of aggressive plays here. However, RRQ, look at this. We see rotations coming from Jago already setting up near the outskirts of the turtle pit, and they are trying to go for the wraparound, trying to fight against this team here coming from VFM.
Yeah, VFM, they want to commit to this tower, but RRQ is here to go for the defense. Jago is here, jumps in the tree, doesn't get a kill, but they defend that structure.
Yep, nice disengagement here coming from VFM. They tried to go for a commitment here, but RRQ managed to stop them in the track, which is really nice. Zaman Frost was kind of baited out as well. This is going to buy a little bit of time here for RRQ to get up those farms here, especially from the side of Jago. But hold that thought for now. Brawly, will he get scouted out? He might be in some trouble, but he's going to be fine.
Yeah, and the rest of RRQ, they are coming, like you mentioned, they're setting up the turret. They stalled out that tower for a bit longer, and now VFM, they managed to get a tower. They're committing to the turtle, but guess what? RRQ gonna strike. The lights gets turned off, and immediately they're gonna pounce in, try to go to the first build. Lucky we were taken out. The value out of the picture, but High will be able to beat that front line for now. It's a 1-for-1 so far, but RRQ seems like they've isolated High, and High has nowhere to go. Double kill for the Hellcat, and RRQ, they want to go for more. They smell blood in the air. Team X has to jump away. VFM, they concede 2 kills, and they will concede the turtle as well.
Nicely done here coming from RRQ, and it's not over yet here because T-Max is going to get dived out. He's got no Hurricane Dance, and he will get bursted down, unfortunately here. And Teeny is trying to go for a big wombo combo here, but let's take a look at the replays here because I like this play coming from RRQ. We pay attention to this here. They immediately focus on the support, and not to mention as well, Sin on the Hellcat was cutting off the backlines here. They knew that Akai did not have that Hurricane Dance. They pressured him and took him down, which was very nice. And a little bit unfortunate for VFM as well, if you pay attention, because Cloud did not exactly have mana to work with in that team fight.
Yeah, and the best part was the moment Sin saw that opportunity, he didn't just get the first blood. After that first blood, he jumped right to the back line. Like you mentioned, he got the AoE silence off. No, this is the problem with Cloud, right? You need to buy time, but all this early fight is just going to stop him when this Hellcat is so huge. RQ, 4 kills in a row, gets the turtle and gets the tier 1. Sin's just gonna get away. Teeny is 3 levels behind. There's no way you're catching this Hellcat anytime soon.
Yeah, saving up the... You mentioned about the Cloud as well, buying a little bit of time. He needs those items, especially the Golden Staff and the Demon Eater Sword. But building up those stacks to transition into a Blazing Duet, that's gonna be the key component here. And it's not going to be an easy thing to actually pull it off. But RRQ, they seem to realize that as well. That's why they always send Sin to cut the backlines. But as of now, Sin is 3-0-1 on the Hellcat coming from RRQ. And it's not over yet. Oh!
And this time, VFM, they want to strike back. The Granger out is there. That is Sonata, but not able to help out his teammate. They will lose one to VFM.
Yeah, 2 times in a row here coming from Win, getting taken off here. Good catch there coming from VFM, but it's only a support there. The key one is over here. And Sin getting a solo kill on Cloud, and that's going to be unfortunate there. And he's got 4-0-1 right now.
And this is the nightmare that we've been talking about for VFM. They're playing on taking time moment. This 4-0 on Sin has just accelerated that critical mass period. VFM, they need to somehow buy more time, and we keep repeating they have to buy time, they have to make space, but space is being constricted because RRQ are getting all these objectives across the map.
Yeah, I agree. And Sin as well, because he went for the high end, right? It's as emblem, right? As alone himself, this Hellcat is going to be able to take down any hero from the side of VFM, especially if they're alone here. That's exactly how the Cloud die. But now, once again, the turtle will be secure from the side of RRQ. This time, Iojago wants to pick a fight here. They're going to try and lead the charge with this Esmeralda. Will they actually catch any members from the side of VFM? But VFM, they're playing on the retreat here. They're losing the economy at least 4k deficit here, coming from VFM and RRQ.
And just perfect game sense from RRQ. Sin, he saw VFM pull off a collapse in the middle lane, realizes, okay, the front line, they're all gone from the side, from the blue side. Claude is definitely isolated. Let me just go and pick him up. And that's what happened that led to Claude's death. Now it's going to be RRQ again gaining the lead. They're going to extend this goalie as much as they can. They're not in a rush. They already hit that critical mass earlier than expected. Now Kyle's going to get the pull as well. Lucky, not so lucky this time. Hylos will be the one taking that out.
Yeah, nice divine judgment there coming from RRQ, catching off Lucky, like you said as well. But it's like I said, you know, the Cloud needs more items. Divine item up already. Cloud. Broly's gonna go lead the charge here. How do we do this here?
And they're gonna fight this. Harif, he's doing his best. Hyde will not be able to get any kill onto Liam. This Hylos is pretty much unkillable at this point. You need more commitment. Thank God that Sin was not there, but even so, it kind of proved that how RRQ are so far ahead that VFM just was ineffective against them, and because of that, Sin again making space. You're kind of playing like they're trying to play like this Marsha 4-1 composition, even though it's not the Marsha, but because again Sin has such a big lead, he can go across the map. And VFM, they cannot just send one guy to deal with this Hellcat. They need 2 or 3, and you need to make sure you keep this Cloud out of the business.
Yeah, definitely here. Speaking of out of business here, because I feel like they have a lot to worry about here. Because right now, who should they focus? Is it going to be Esmeralda or is it going to be the Hellcat here? And right now, because they were confused in this kind of confusion, it's hard to make a decision here. It's all down towards how T-Max is going to be able to pull things out from side VFM, especially from the Akai itself. The Hurricane Dust is going to be the key crucial component to open the entire gameplay or tempo from the side of VFM. Yeah, and they need one solid comeback here. And now another turtle buff heading towards RRQ now.
RRQ making it look easy, and it's not just the Archive. The Valiant now plays another crucial role because of that knockback. You kind of have to start playing the Pew game. The Cloud cannot just jump in with that ultimate and start spinning and hope to get a kill. That is not going to work against RRQ simply because of the imminent threat of Hellcat. So he's going to constantly search for this Cloud, constantly search for this Broly, and again, they are not in a rush. We're 7 minutes in. RRQ, they're taking it slow. Wait for the Lord to come back, then that is where RRQ will pull off the next push, the next big strike.
Yeah, speaking of the next big strike here, T-Max, he needs those fights here. RRQ, they're lying in wait, they're camping their way through, hoping to catch a couple of mistakes here, and you can see they're setting up shop from RRQ, and VFM, you can see as well on the bottom, on the mini side of the map as well, you can see Lucky on the volley was just a little bit scared to actually push too far off, but now they scout this out here. Will they catch off Lucky again? This is a goal. He goes in, Zin. Ooh, gets pushed back. He's going to be fine. Falling Star Moon as well. T-Max going for the Hurricane Dance. He's going to connect on one here. He will get the Sin here, but that's going to be Hellcat. And a big spin. Ultimate here coming from Arda. Connects on the dot, but it's going to be enough to revitalize from Liam. Keeps him alive. They take down the Archive, but unfortunately, VFM, they lose 3. They lose 2. RRQ is so far ahead right now, and they can't seem to be taken down by VFM.
Yeah, Broly is the last man alive trying to get away, and he will be able to buy time for his team, but like you say, RRQ with the lead, they had the item advantage. They were ready for that. That was the best fight that VFM could have gotten, and they were not able to close out that fight, and now it's Broly he's just gonna keep running from RRQ, and the rest of his team, they just respawn.
Yeah, he has to buy a little bit of time here because probably he needs more items. He want to hit so much damage. You saw the Blazing Duet. He did almost nothing here, but a clutch revitalize from Liam here on that Hylos was the one that set the tempo for the team. Blazing Duet getting forced out. Iron Jungle getting baited for the falling star here. But Brawley, he's trying to buy a little bit of time here for VFM, but unfortunately, he gets taken down. What were you thinking? Nice juke there, but bottom of the space for bottom side here for the Badang to actually get some farm from the side of VFM.
Yeah, that was the best case scenario for VFM. From that team fight onwards, everything fell into place, but you say the critical revitalized saved RRQ in that fight, and they managed to get 4 in return. Brawley, great mechanical display, but just the deficit alone allowed RRQ to not be afraid of him. You can see Esmeralda, I am Jago, just, wow, you want to shoot me? I'm just going to let you shoot me, and I'll finish you off. Sin was on the way as well, so there's no way that Brawley can get out of that. But the time bot, not really sure if this is enough for VFF, because we're looking at a 10k goal lead for
exactly.
RRQ.
It's not going to be enough here because right now RRQ, they are in at least 1 or 2 core, 1.5 core items here for all of these players, especially every single hero from side RRQ. And I'm not too sure how VFM is going to be able to punish this here. They need to get a nice pick off again, and taking Sin was going to be a great target for them. Same goes for I Am Jago, but can they take it? Do they have enough damage to take them down? That's going to be a question here because now they have like mages, they have a lot of lockdowns here. Harif needs to calm up online, and they need the cloud as well.
And they get the pull.
Very low. Ooh!
Instant pull, killing off the Violet. That is the Lord. RRQ. They did this exact same trick against Evos just now in that second game where this Kaja is literally ripping the enemies apart. Vin was on point with all those ultimates. Divine Judgment on the right target, and because of that, without the Violet, you lost that one member. That one extra member that can help you peel, that can help keep this marksman alive. With Lord now summoned, VFM, they have to hold this 4v5.
Yeah, very nicely done here. And now the Lord is going to be knocking, appearing from the top side of the lane here. And RRQ, they're just going to gatekeep the guys from VFM. They do not want to give them any sort of buffs here. They're going to try to steal the buffs as well. You can see even Tuturu stealing the top buff from the side of VFM. And the itemization-wise, Golden Staff is pretty much out of Cloud and Badang as well. How do you fight this though?
Yeah, 12k goal lead for RRQ. The biggest goalie that we've seen so far amassed by a team, and even though this is just the first day impressive performance from the Indonesian squad, and go for that first inhibitor. It's going to be VFM trying to make something happen. There go Team X goes in for the Hurricane Dash. He does get 4 targets, but the damage isn't enough. Harry will find one. They force RRQ to retreat, but the Lord is already in the base. Vin managing to get that top inhibitor. VFM, they saw this out for now, but the damage is done by RRQ.
Good defense there coming from VFM as well. What a huge out there coming from Teeny as well. Did the damage on, but once again, Liam with the clutch revitalize. He can't be taken down. They lost one member, but that's about it. And VFM, they need to slowly but surely drag this out fight here. But look at this, one big ultimate here. Everyone was so low. The revitalize there keep him alive, but everyone backed out alive.
Yeah, Team X needed that Hurricane Dash, and he got it perfect onto Vin, the Kaja. That hero could have been the Vin could have been the guy to end it off of VFM. So VFM bought themselves some more time to stay alive in game 1, but the odds are still stacked against them.
Yeah, definitely here, but like you said as well, the Lord knocked down. They lost 1 tier 3s up top here, but VFM, if they drag this ultra late game here, the Badang and Cloud is gonna come up online. As compared to Granger, it doesn't really do as much as compared to what Cloud and Badang is going to be offering in terms of overall damage output towards the ultra late game. And Tuturu, they know they want to end this game here. They're going to go force out another BOD, but look at this, the fight.
And this is what VFC want to do. You're starting to see this Cloud being a bit more efficient. And if you put aside the mistake from Team X who try to contest the dragon, the turtle without the Hurricane Dance, it is all a bit better for VEC Fantasy main, but for RRQ, they are still on his tails.
That's a crucial item here coming from VFM. Divine Glaive up onto its height already on that Harif, and the Harif is going to pop up a little bit more. And Tuturu also getting the second Blade of Despair as well in this next team fight. This is going to be a crucial fight here coming from VFM and RRQ, and they have the dominance eyes on Liam just to try a little bit of slow to actually buy time for the team to actually snowball their way through. But VFM, they just need that one lucky hero. It's either Zin, Tuturu, or even I Am Jungle to get picks off first, this is where they will slowly make their comeback if and only if they pull it off.
And this is where T-Max and Teeny need to make the same magic trick again. They need to go Houdini once more, but this time they can't just get Vin. They can't just get one member from RQ. They need to get the course. They need to at least be able to kill off half of RQ to even have a chance of staying alive. And with the all stacked against them right now, with how things are, Tuturu is just going to continue the split push on the top side of the map. And VFM, they are far away from base. This is where RQ can consider collapsing on them. But luckily, Sin is not around just yet.
Oh, they have Immortal Arm Liam. They're not afraid here, but unfortunately, the buff actually gets stolen. Oh, no. VFM, they needed that buff here if they want to win the next 2 team fights here. And RQ,
but they found someone.
But Hurricane Dance.
And it's going to be VFM pulling the trigger once more. They're going to go for Vin. Vin somehow survives with the revitalize. Liam in everyone, but there is it. Vin and Esmeralda will kill off 2 members of VFM while the rest of RQ stay alive. They find the fight that they need, and guess what? This is the second Lord for RRQ.
Oh, nicely done there from RRQ. Great attempt there with the Hurricane Dance, but unfortunately, it was just too hard to fight here. The Hellcat is just too great to go. Divine Judgment on Bright Wind here, but he doesn't care. He's got an Immortal. He can tank the tower. Why not? Worth it here. Tuturu gonna poke the tier 3s, and slowly but surely, they take the Lord as well on RRQ. They're thinking about closing the game, but Tuturu, oh!
Wow!
The Death Sonata from Tuturu. Here comes Iron Jago. He wants more. Tier 3s are down. Another one in the middle. VFM, how will they defend this? Lucky and Teeny still alive, but the Crystal is gonna be game. RRQ takes game number 1 in this second series.
Yeah, you give them a step, they will take it.